Hello everyone! Today's video is all about mange mites in guinea pigs. So it's kind of a follow-up to my video on lice, which you can watch now if you click the link on the screen. So first I'm going to tell you about some basic information about mange mites, then how guinea pigs can get them, the symptoms, diagnosis, treatment and finally prevention. So as with all my healthcare videos, I want to make it clear that I haven't had any training in vet medicine, but I do a lot of research from a lot of different sources, so I always try and give the most accurate information possible. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've done a video for any of my subscribers. Thank you for sticking with me, and I promise I'll try and get more videos done. The piggies are all fine, I'm sure you can see, and they'll hopefully be entertaining you in this video while I drone on. So mange mites are also called celnic mites or sarcoptid mites, and sarcoptid just comes from the name of the family that they belong to. And their scientific name is Trichoceras cavia, which you might also see written. You've probably heard of them as the mites which bury beneath the skin and, unlike running lice, are too small to be seen by the naked eye. So they are one of the most common skin complaints in guinea pigs, and according to the Guinea Piglopedia book, which I have here, they are one of the 4 most common health problems which account for about 90% of all cases. And the 3 others are overgrown teeth, vitamin C deficiency and pregnancy toxemia. Left untreated, mange mites are fatal. So they are a very nasty parasite, as you can probably imagine when you hear that they can bury underneath the skin. But if you are worried that your guinea pigs might have mange, then the good news is that they are very easy to treat since the introduction of a drug called Ivermectin. Mange mites can be spread directly from one infested guinea pig to another. Now if you're a new owner, this means that the risk might be higher if you've just bought or adopted your guinea pig from somewhere where lots of them are kept together. And pet shops often care more about making money than selling guinea pigs that are carrying parasites. So that might be something to consider when you're thinking about where to get your first guinea pig from. I think Annie's a little hot, bless her. And it's also thought that many guinea pigs might be carriers of the mange mite without actually showing any symptoms. And that's because the mite can actually be in a dormant state. So if the guinea pig experiences any stress or illness for whatever reason, and sometimes it can be just getting older, the mites might start reproducing and then symptoms will occur. So the mites themselves actually have quite an interesting life cycle, and it's the females which bury underneath the skin to lay their eggs, and this burrowing underneath the skin is what makes it such a horrible disease for the guinea pigs to get. The first signs of an infestation are hair falling out, dandruff and more itching than is normal. I mean, they do scratch a lot anyway, but I think you would notice if they started doing it more. And these signs can be found pretty much anywhere on the piggy. Some people say common places include around the neck and shoulders, the back and around the front and back legs, so everywhere really. And then later on, as the infestation becomes more advanced, skin irritation and itching gets worse. Biting and scratching can lead to open wounds in the skin, which can get infected by bacteria. So eventually the pain is so bad that the piggies might actually appear to have seizures, and they'll often refuse to eat or drink because they're so traumatised by the infection. And I know this sounds horrible and I don't want to make it worse by showing you pictures, but I am just going to put a few in. Obviously all the guinea pigs in these pictures were treated and they fully recovered from the disease. Because mange can be so serious, it's recommended that you take your guinea pig to an experienced vet at the first sign of mites. And the symptoms of mites are actually very similar to symptoms of other skin problems such as fungal infections. So your vet might perform a skin scraping where they just get some skin off the piggy to look at it under a microscope and see if they can see any signs of the mites. But there might not be enough mites to actually determine an infestation. So rather than ruling out mites altogether, it might be best to treat for them anyway, because skin scrapings can often be unreliable. And there's a really good example of misdiagnosis of mites on guinea lynx, which I'll put the link for. So because the drug Ivermectin, which is used to treat them, doesn't, if used correctly, it doesn't have any bad side effects. There's no harm in treating for them just in case they have them. So treatment is quick and easy, and usually all piggies recover successfully even if they were in a bad condition. The vet will use Ivermectin, which I've mentioned already, and it can be given orally, topically or by injection. But a single treatment is not enough because the medicine doesn't kill the eggs, so the dose must be repeated every 10 days about 2 or 3 times. And Ivermectin is safe for pregnant piggies, but Guinea Lynx suggests it's not safe for very young piggies that are under a certain weight. I think it was about 350 grams, so very young piggies. And giving the right dose is really important because an overdose can be dangerous. So if the infected piggy lives with others, they will all need a course of the medication, even if they don't have any symptoms. And all their cage and accessories will need cleaning thoroughly to kill any live mites which might have fallen off their hosts. In my video on lice, I talked about the alternatives to taking your guinea pig to the vet, as not everyone can afford costly vet fees, and whilst I would always recommend going to the vet, a well-informed home treatment can be better than no treatment at all. So there is a product called Xeno 450, which I'll just get the box because I used to have some, and this can be used to treat mange mites because its main ingredient is that drug Ivermectin. And this product comes in pipettes, like so, and each pipette can be given to a guinea pig that weighs between 800 and 1,200 grams. So it's not really to be used on smaller guinea pigs, and you'd probably need to take them to the vet to work out the right dose for, say, piggies that weigh under 800 grams. So there's it again, and it specifically mentions mange in guinea pigs on the side, and all the forums I've read about on the internet, they all say as well that there's not been anyone who's had a bad experience with this medication. So that's Xeno 450, and that's not to be confused with another one which is called Xenex, Xenex, and that contains permethrin, which has been known to have some bad side effects. I talk more about the advantages and disadvantages of some different medications on my lice video, but it's important to remember that for mange mites, Ivermectin is the main drug that can treat them, and these other drugs, normal pesticides, permethrin, that kind of thing, won't treat them successfully anyway. There is another one that is called Selmectin or Revolution, and this has successfully treated mites in guinea pigs before with a single dose, so it has the potential to be better than Ivermectin in that a single dose will get rid of them and they won't have to go back and have another treatment. But compared to Ivermectin, it's relatively new, so if you want to go with what is known to work, then I would go for Ivermectin. And of course, I'm sure you know there's lots of sprays, shampoos and wipes which can be dangerous to piggies, and if they don't contain Ivermectin they won't successfully treat the mange mites anyway. So it can be quite daunting to know what is the best to do for treating them. So if in doubt, always go to an experienced vet, and if there isn't an exotics vet available, then check that the vet is going to use Ivermectin if they suspect mites, and perhaps suggest a course of Ivermectin even if a skin scraping shows no sign of mites. So as for prevention, you can't really prevent them, especially as a lot of guinea pigs might carry them anyway in a dormant state. One thing you can do is to quarantine new piggies in case they are infected and only just in the early stages, though this is unlikely if you adopt them from a rescue instead of buying from a pet store, for instance. So some people suggest that mange mites can be picked up from hay and bedding, and I don't know whether to believe this or not, because some studies have shown that mites cannot survive without their hosts in the environment, and they will probably die after about 2 to 3 weeks. So we really don't know whether they can catch them off hay, as that's likely to have been in the package for a couple of weeks before you come along and buy it. And of course you should always reduce stress by providing a clean and spacious cage and a balanced nutritional diet for your piggies. So I hope this has provided you with lots of information, and please go and watch my lice video if you want to learn about a different kind of parasite that can affect guinea pigs. If there's any questions, just ask them below, and I always get back to people who comment on my videos. And just remember that the bad news is that mange mites can be fatal and they're more than just a nuisance, but the good news is that mange mites are easily treatable. Ivermectin can quickly stop the itching and pain within a day and get rid of the other symptoms within a month. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments and questions, and please subscribe if you are into my videos, and thank you to all the people who already have. And that's goodbye from me, and goodbye from Lola. There she is. Sprite, hiding back there. And Annie. I'm gonna say goodbye, pig. Goodbye. You're so cute.